Why you wanna run away? Why you gotta be afraid? I wish I could make you stay, cause baby I love you. Why you tryna break us up when I'm tryna build it up? I wish I could make you stop, cause baby I love you. Guess I'm gonna dance alone tonight. I'm gonna miss your body. You know I can never get it right without you, no. I don't wanna step into the light if I don't get you, shawty. You bring out the sweetness of my life, oh yeah. Come on and give me that, give me that, give me that good, good loving. Come on and show me that, show me that, show me that you're the one. I move to the left while you move to the right, while you tryna fight, just come on and give me that, give me that, give me that good, good loving. Give me that, give me that, give me that, give me that. Give me that, give me that, give me that, give me that.
Show ya. Show me the car when you turn me on. Cool way you tell me you want me down. Done it, I done this before you fall. I won't catch you, don't know I'm stalling. Cause you love to have them all crying. Calling me sweet, telling me you need me. But I'm from a city that's high school. I give them this anymore, I go. Cause you a bad money, she don't love money. She break hearts real fast like money. Wanna swim down to the deep end. Wanna know all my secrets, honestly. Can you keep it real? Cause honestly, I can tell that you're real fond of me. Baby, don't be shy, I can see it in your eyes. I've been running around. Too bad, I've been sticking out your mind. I know you like it how I rock it from behind. I don't understand you, how you taking all my time. Left, right, can you take it all night? Too bad, I've been sticking out your mind. I know you like it how I rock it from behind. I don't understand you, how you taking all my time. Left, right, can you take it all night? Take it, baby, baby, I ain't scared to take it. Oh, and maybe when I take it, oh, I feel it coming down too strong. Cause I want ya, and it's hard to resist cause I need ya. And it's hard, baby, yeah, cause I believe ya. Hold me tight, holding on tonight. Holding a couple, no get to your clean and proper. Way I move, you know you can love her. You gon' have me on your mind forever, ever. Next, baby, turn it down like a sweet and ready. Go slow, keep it nice and steady. Know that you've been keeping patience. Too bad, I've been sticking out your mind. I know you like it how I rock it from behind. I don't understand you, how you taking all my time. Left, right, can you take it all night? Too bad, I've been sticking out your mind. I know you like it how I rock it from behind. I don't understand you, how you taking all my time. Left, right, can you take it all night?
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the Mail Room Show. Yo, it's my job to introduce the crew, all right? Guess who we got? We got Rollo. Yeah. And we got JB the Gent. And we always let the beat drop. Hey. Let's go. Hey, welcome to the Mailroom Show. Huh? What up, Dope?
What up?
What's good with you, man? What's good with you?
Hey, we back here. We good, man.
And we back in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How's everybody feeling, man?
Blessed, man. Blessed every day.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I'm
sir.
about to get this brown in me. I'm about to feel a little better.
When you get that brown, you feel like you're around.
You about to feel.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Mailroom Show. We appreciate everybody. Let's clap it up for the one time, man. You know, we got a few people. We got a couple people in the building real quick. First of all, Miss Smiley, how are you? You know, another faithful mailroom carrier. Very faithful. Sure. We got a Queen's conversation. Hey, y'all, what's up?
A Queen's conversation.
What's up?
Welcome to the mailroom.
Welcome to the Mailroom Show. Let's clap it up for Miss Queen's conversation. You know? All right. Hey, we're doing our thing. Look, check it out, man. I'm super excited about this episode, man. I don't know about y'all, man, but I really am. I'm so interested about how we all think about this topic, this flow that we got going on tonight. So it's gonna be interesting, man. But you know, the Chicago Bears traded their first overall pick to the Carolina Panthers, which is irritating me.
Just avid football fan here.
Yes, I'm venting because
TB sends us all the transactions in the NFL like on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Like
he's
I'm such a geek about my
kicker, man.
Like he sends us all the transactions. Like we know who traded before the world does. That's how I be feeling.
Hey man, I got inside information, man. That's what I do, man.
Hey, we love it. If you like it,
this is what I do, bro. But dog, I was so upset. Dog, because you know the Colts, we got number 4 pick, and if they don't get Will Levis from Kentucky, I'm going to be so up.
Well, we hope that doesn't happen.
Nevertheless, Marlo, it's on you, baby.
Oh man, yeah. What's going on, y'all? Welcome again to the episode. Well, he got me all discombobulated, but welcome to the show. Everybody that's tapping into the live stream, we appreciate y'all, man. This is what we do. This is season 2, and we appreciate y'all for being here. Y'all know what it is, man. We got a really good show for y'all today. Like I know I say that every week, but I mean it every week, and today is no less. So with that being said, we are here again for conversation camaraderie, me and my brothers, man, to discuss topics so relevant to men and women in today's society, man. This started from our cars, conversation was kicking back, and we decided, you know what, let's let people feel our vibe. Let's see if they want to hear what we have to say. You know what I'm saying? Just basic conversation, started in our car, started in our cribs, and we are happy to bring it to y'all. We are happy that you are here, and we're going to keep it moving, man. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, as we on another round table that has turned into the Mailroom Show, let us never ever forget, my brothers, the foundation that is our Trinity. Salud.
Hello.
Yes.
See, last week y'all was clickety clacking the glasses.
Yeah, like
yeah.
You're not gonna let it.
Shout out to Sabrina Tillman, man, for saying what's up to us. We appreciate it. And also shout out to Alicia. We appreciate you, baby girl, as well. Thank you so much for tuning into the Mailroom Show. We appreciate that. Our mail carriers are so dedicated to us. So we really appreciate you all, for real, for real. Thank you so much.
Y'all are so dope. We love and appreciate.
That means we're doing our job. You know what I'm saying? That means we're doing the right thing.
That means we're doing something right.
We might be doing something correctly. You know.
That means we're doing something right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, Tay said he really excited about this show. I'm excited about this show. We have some topics that should really bring forth some really good conversation. And y'all know what it is, man. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Y'all ready, fellas?
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, man. First topic of the day, fellas. Have we as men contributed to the lack of femininity in today's society? Have we as men contributed to the lack of femininity in today's society?
Who are you talking to? You talking about us?
I'm talking about us.
You talking about us on the show? Or are you talking about... Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I'd internalize that. My fault.
Yeah, just us as men, just us as men in today's society. Have we contributed to the lack of femininity in today's society? Maybe not us on this show, but
I'll start this up.
Yeah.
I might have to take accountability. I don't know.
That boy about to
Hey, Tay said he might have to take accountability for this. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Since you said that,
what you think?
Yeah. What's up, man? What up, though? What? I mean, I've had some arguments, you know. Huh?
Okay. There we go.
I probably pull some masculine energy from a couple chicks, you know what I'm saying? Based on what we was talking about, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, from a standpoint of like totally just like dismissing women in general, no, never done that. I personally have never placed a woman in a position where she had to choose her masculinity over mine. So, but in just casual conversation, I've said some things that they disagree with, and you know what? They showed me some masculine energy in that disagreement. It might be my fault that they did that. I'm okay with taking accountability for that, but it could have been me. Okay. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, but when it comes to the actual totality of this particular question, like, man, I think there are some men who have contributed from a standpoint of the involvement that they've had with women, especially at a certain standpoint, like when you have kids and when you have children, right? And even if you are married or not, like there are times where that masculine feminine thing will be an exchange. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like, and this is the reason why you should have children with reasonable individuals who are on the same page as you. Because when you don't, it's always a fight. Like everything you do is going to be a fight. Children is the caveat to this question, not to me. Because like I said in season 1 in the pilot show, I said this in the pilot show, that women have been moved to being masculine because of the breaking down of the family dynamic. I said this before.
I remember that.
But the breaking down of the family dynamic is what has been an issue. And it started way back in the Great Society when Lyndon B. Johnson, the president of the United States at the time after JFK got assassinated, he let the Great Society Act rule over the single parents, single dad, co-parenting dynamic. Because of that, it caused women to have to be masculine. Now they have to work longer hours. They have to do everything. And a lot of times women would be like, yo, they're raising their kids, whatever the case may be. But at the same time, it's like you also have to do daycare. You take them to school. Like they're not with you all day. You know, so it's like at the end of the day, it's like the dynamic of that type of thing, it does have a contribution from men. Like, there are men who have contributed to this very thing. And so this is the reason why I appreciate what JB said in, I think it was either the first or second episode of the second season, when he said he hate simp niggas, right? He said it so profoundly. He was like, I hate simp nigga. Like, he said it with so much love and passion, because
it was so sincere.
Those are most of the men that contribute to this very thing we're talking about. Right. So the lack of femininity comes from that place too. However, femininity also is a responsibility of a woman.
Correct.
You cannot use hurt to say, this is the reason why I can't be feminine. Because guess what? A man can't use hurt if he try to be masculine, or if he operate in his masculinity. Even the very Pookie that most of the women fuck with, he's still masculine enough to not bring you into his bull.
What about
if any bull he bring you into is between you and him? He'll never bring nothing else on you. Okay, now you're gonna act like you know what he's talking about? Really?
What about what about Nut Nut? Nut Nut 2, right?
Nut Nut 2. Okay. Nut Nut 2.
I was thinking about him.
Yeah, I was thinking about Nut Nut. Right? I like Nut Nut. He cool. Yeah. But Pookie is crazy, right? Pookie is crazy. Nut Nut cool. Pookie mad crazy, bro. Mad crazy. But yeah, like, your femininity is still based upon the way you view yourself as well. You might lack it because of certain things that you've been through, but at the same time, you chose those things you've been through. Initially, that choice was based upon whatever you desired to do, whatever the case may have been. You know, the way a man's behavior operates is not based upon you. He doesn't operate the way he operates because of you. He's operating the way he is because of himself. If you want to put the responsibility from him off of him, then okay, that means you're taking accountability. But if you place all the responsibility on him because you lack femininity, and especially when you get to a level where you know better, I don't know if you can blame that man. But there are some contributing factors to a man when it comes to a lady's femininity, and so we just have to learn how to decipher.
Very well said, my brother. Where you at with it, Jay?
I have no comment after that, man. He kind of pretty much summed it up. Like, I mean, all I would do.
Want me to go to the next topic? You ready now?
It's like, but yeah, I mean, you know, I actually agree with everything you said. The only avenue that I was going to take was the fact of, you know, the lack of femininity is because of lack of masculinity. That's why I was going to take that avenue. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got the guys that don't.
That's a great point, man, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, you got the guys that don't exuberate that to the woman that they're dating or that they're in a relationship with, and they take on, you know what I'm saying, that role, or they kind of like blend over to that facet, and then, you know what I'm saying, all of a sudden that line becomes shady, you know what I'm saying, and you can't even find it no more. And so that's, you know, I actually had a conversation with a friend of mine that was talking about how and it was funny, we were sitting there talking, and she was like, yeah, it's because of everything I had to do, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot, care to Tay's point, like, you know, the duties that he had to do and whatnot. But then, you know, while we was there, you know what I'm saying, talking about this subject, she was giving me points because, you know, I was more so on the edge, and I'm being honest, I was more so on the edge of, you know, women being more masculine because they were just themselves losing their femininity. I was always on that, you know what I'm saying, but you know, me and my friend was talking, and she was trying to tell me on that end from a woman and why that is, and she was making some great points. And then in the midst of it, you know, she got a phone call from a guy, and he was like totally exuberant, trying to see her, didn't want to get off the phone, all that. And I was listening to her play the guy in this talk, and I was like, damn, she is right. You know what I'm saying? Like we do contribute to that because of the lack of masculinity. Like it was like if y'all, if well, what you ever ran into a woman that talks like a guy? You know what I'm saying? When you talk about dating, you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, usually I will think like, dang, you know what I'm saying? That's on her. You know what I'm saying? She should be more feminine, but it contributed from the guys. You know what I'm saying? Being the way they are, being that lack of masculinity to cause her to be that way. You know what I'm saying? Like a girl, a woman is comfortable as she is when a man gives her the comfortable space. So if you know what I'm saying, if that is not there, then she tends to do that. You know what I mean? She'll tend to fall over that line, and then you have those women that get comfortable in that and be, you know what I'm saying? And now no guy can really come to you with that because they're on that side of the fence now. It's kind of wild. Like I don't know, but like to what Tay said, I actually agree with it, man. Like that's why I was going, but I feel it's just lack of masculinity too, and it's contributing factors on the men part as well.
You know what? It's so funny that you say that because I totally agree with you. Like there's I don't want to be an echo chamber, but there's the lack of masculinity. It is so many men who don't want to hurt women's feelings, and that is egregious. And I know the women are not going to fuck with me on that, but sometimes you need your feelings hurt. You know why? Because y'all be thinking about some stuff that is so delusional that you need a reality check. I'm just saying, they do.
Some women will fess up to that too.
Yeah. Listen, everybody, I don't care if you're a man or a woman, at some point you need a reality check.
Okay.
Like you got to stop thinking that you're so perfect and you so like nothing in this world bothers you, or you don't submit to the things of certain things in this world. You do. You do it without even realizing that you're doing it.
Yeah.
So for you to tell me, a woman who has no history of being a wife, acting like a girlfriend or anything, you telling me that on the first date that you need to be taken to J. Alexander's or Ocean Prime and Red Rooster and all these things, you want the best, you want the cream of the crop, but you treat yourself like an OnlyFans. Make that make sense to me. You treat yourself like an OnlyFans, but you want me to spend $300 on a first date with you to get to know you, to vet you? That ain't because of me.
Yeah.
That ain't because of me. That's something that you said to yourself. So your lack of that femininity in that point wouldn't be because of me. There's a lot of women that do need a reality check. It's like, baby girl, you're not who you think you are. As much as people love Beyonce and all that, let me tell you something. She gave y'all, all the single ladies, you must not know about me. You must not know about me. I have another you. In a minute, she did all that, lemonade, all that, and she still stayed with her husband. She lied to y'all. She lied to you. And you follow her as if she's giving you the truth. That's not a lack of my masculinity. That's you listening to some bullshit. So
you got people checking out.
Make a choice.
We got people checking out already.
Make a choice. Look, they're already ready to go home because they know I'm coming with that fire. Come with that fire.
So you made a really good point. And as far as the question in general, contributing, yes, but take responsibility, no, because like femininity should be an inherited trait. You know what I mean? Masculinity should be an inherited trait.
Great.
And yes, the way the world is now, there's loss just trying to keep up with how society is now. There's loss in these traits because the way society is now. But
Mm.
the contributions is probably coming from, from the people who haven't figured it out, still trying to figure it out, or never figured it out the way they're supposed to approach themselves in their life. Like as a man, there's certain things that hopefully you grow up with and that you mature into, that can carry over into meeting a woman who is growing up into some feminine traits, who has developed a way of thinking and acting and moving according to the way a real woman should. So hopefully those two type of energies meet. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, the way society is today is rare. So
Yeah.
has the contribution been made? Absolutely. But am I going to take full responsibility because of whatever you have been through, or what you just say, Ted, like demanding certain things when you're not even in a position to demand those certain
Hmm.
things. And so now your femininity is triggered off of that. So now you can't
Right.
act feminine. You can't
Right.
act feminine now because I'm not giving you this or doing this. No,
Right.
I
If
will
you
I
if
I will agree there's contributions to the lack of it. You know what
yeah,
I mean? There's definitely contributions, but
yeah.
you can't but femininity should be inherited, and then from there you need to make that choice to stay there and maintain it.
That's 100%
So
correct. Because the thing about it is that th-
Mm.
those traits are already embedded in your DNA.
yep.
Seriously, like even if you, you know what's so wild about this conversation?
Mm.
It's like even if a woman is dating a pookie,
Hmm.
right? If a woman is dating a pookie and they out on a date, and if something dangerous happened, even that pookie will innately protect the woman he's dating. He will automatically do it. It's like a trigger. We
Mm.
automatically protect, we automatically sacrifice. We automatically do it even if we don't even know you like that.
Mm.
That's how much innately men operate in their masculinity, even if a woman is hurt by a man. You can be hurt by a man all you want. But that same man that hurt you, he will be the same man that will die for you too, just innately because that's what he's wired to do. And even no matter how you feel about that man, he's wired to do that.
I got
Period.
you on that one.
He
Yeah.
wired to die for his mama. He wired to die for his sister. If he the oldest, he wired to die for his brother. Or not, if he the
Mm.
oldest, he'll still die for his brother.
Mm.
If he take you on it, bruh, if how okay, let me ask y'all this. How many dates y'all been on in your lifetime where you picked the woman up and you were responsible for that woman's well-being?
Oh, yes. Millions.
Were you prepared for anything that was unpredictable, including violence?
Always. But I'm also careful where I take them to prevent them
Watch the
from that.
room.
There you go.
But yeah,
There you
but
go.
yeah, you watch
Exactly.
the room.
Mm.
So we're like, when you calculate it, you'll be like, you know what? I ain't gonna take her you know, to the Coney Island on 6 Mile in Greenfield,
No.
Mm.
for instance.
Mm.
For those that are from Detroit.
Mm.
But I don't mind going to J. Alexander,
Hmm.
Mm.
no matter if it's in Detroit, here in Indy, or where I'm from. It doesn't matter. You'll do it. You
Mm.
would, you will, like Jay said under his breath. He said, like, yo, hey, read the room. Like, you're gonna do
Mm.
what it takes to make sure that woman is safe while you're dating her,
Right.
because you don't want no distractions to happen in the midst of your dating process with her. You want it to be smooth. You want it to be peaceful.
Mm.
You ain't gonna take her to the hood on a
Mm.
date.
No.
You ain't gonna do it.
Mm.
You're gonna take her to a place that's very reasonable, very safe, whatever, that she can feel comfortable at. Because
So
that's already a forethought. Yeah,
so it's innate on both ends.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So if we have
Absolutely.
that innate trait, like you said, it's innate on both ends. And if you feel like you can't be feminine, then that's a choice you made.
It's a choice.
You know what I'm saying? That's a choice. That's not the fact that it got stripped from you
Mm-hmm.
because of these lame ass boys you've been dealing with. It's a
Mm-hmm.
choice that you made.
And that's why
You know what I'm saying?
the contributions can be minimal, Jay. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't blame whatever little experience you had of a dude that made you not feel feminine. 'Cause you can't let that contribute to your whole way of living now. You know,
Hmm.
contributions can be small, contributions can be big. I don't think we've made a huge contribution to it
Hmm.
because, like you just said, it's a choice at the end of the day. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like men, we get turned down, rejected, upset, hurt by women all the time. We don't. It's not talked about a lot, but that's
Hmm.
not gonna make me. That's gonna make me not want to come out here and handle my business as a man and do what I need to do.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not wired like that. You know
It's
what I
a
mean?
choice for definitely, and
Yeah, I'm
it's
never
an
gonna.
emotional choice.
Yeah,
Seriously, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's an
Like
emotional
it's
choice.
you can't.
Women
Yeah,
choose
like
to be on the masculine end of things
yeah,
because of emotional reasons.
yeah.
Facts.
It's not logical. It's emotional reasons.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
A man is never gonna say, "Oh, I act soft because a woman hurt me. I don't want to act hard no more." So a woman, so maybe she can see my softer side, and maybe I'll get a woman. Hell no, we ain't doing
I
that.
hate
We
simp
gon' He said it. He said it again, ladies and gentlemen, because it's real.
niggas. I'm sorry. You just made me go ahead, Rob. My
That's
bad.
no. I feel you, bro. No, that's real. That's real. And then and another thing I hate is when women blame their lack of femininity on a dude they thought was a simp nigga. Cause he's not a simp nigga. Oh, you ain't gonna give me everything I want? I know we just met, but you ain't gonna give me everything I want?
Why
I
you
don't,
have to do it like
I don't do that either.
Nah, exactly,
that
I
was
don't do that
exactly.
either.
funny?
Yeah.
So if you want to come out here and act like Queen Latifah, you and not Ty because I give you everything you want, be my guest. All right, I'm fine with it.
Like, he already dismissed himself from everything that you thought what it was. Like he
I'm
already
fine with it.
because men we check out fast. We do.
Oh,
Yeah,
We
with
check
the
out
quickness,
fast. And it's
we
with
like,
the
check out
yo,
one
quickness.
time.
if you think I'm responsible for something that happened to you before I met you, then you're what they call in the DSM-5, the actual uh, Bible of those that have psychiatric issues. They follow the DSM-5 is what they follow.
Mm.
American Psychology uh, uh, Association. They
Come with the facts,
normally
Busy.
they normally utilize the DSM-5. That's how they're able to diagnose people with certain things like
Mm.
narcissism and ADHD, ADD, and hyper extensive or OCD. You know what I'm saying? All that's in the DSM-5.
Okay.
If you're giving me
I'm
those
saying yeah,
symptoms,
like I know what the hell he talking about, but I know
if you're giving me
I
those
just said
symptoms,
okay.
if you're giving me those symptoms, then what we do in the regular world, we call you crazy.
Mm.
See, like people who don't understand the dynamic of diagnosis just reference people as crazy. Because guess what? Because you're doing crazy things.
Mm.
So if you're doing crazy things, that's crazy to me. And like it's crazy to me because you want me to take responsibility for something that I didn't do to you.
Mm.
So because of what you went through, then all of a sudden I have to suffer for what you went through. I don't. That right there. That's where it becomes a little bit more dangerous.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? The contribution that we made is what it was. Like he said, small, big, indifferent. It doesn't matter.
Mm.
However, the contribution of the lack of masculinity, if we talk about that, it'd be a whole different conversation.
Mm.
And and that's something that we have to deal with. There are double standards in everything we do, and it
Mm.
is what it is. So
Yeah.
I want to shout out Miss Smiley real quick for this question. Can you make your partner feel not masculine or not feminine if you both are trying to make sure each other is okay?
no, you can make each other feel safe.
Yeah, you can probably make each other feel safe, but you can't
Yeah,
make them not feel
yeah, yeah.
masculine, not feel
Like
feminine.
what Rob said. Rob said your femininity and your masculinity are inherently
It
are
shouldn't be
inherent
based.
traits.
It shouldn't be based off anybody. That's what's messed
Exactly.
up. That's what's
Mm-hmm.
messed
Right.
up.
Now you can
Mm-hmm.
contribute to the pain of someone. You can contribute to the fact that someone might look at you differently because of the way they experienced you. Because you
Yeah,
can't dictate people experiences.
Mm-hmm.
But what you can do is operate in the character in which you were given,
yeah,
in which
Mm-hmm.
you were taught, in which you acknowledge, in which you
Right.
value. And if you do not operate in that contribution, then that's when you become the opposite of the thing that might enhance somebody. Then that's where you start thinking about things a little bit differently.
Right.
But I cannot make you feel feminine. What I
Mm-hmm.
can do is set a tone, set an atmosphere to
Mm-hmm.
allow your femininity to expose itself to me.
Like that safe space, like I said.
There you go. And that's
Mm-hmm.
all it is. I can make you feel safe.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
Like Jay said, like we all saying,
Mm-hmm.
we can make you feel safe. I can take a horse to the water, but I can't make him drink. Ain't that
hmm
what they say?
Mm-hmm.
hmm
I cannot make you or make you feel anything.
Mm-hmm.
I have to provide the space for you to be able to operate in that space. And if I provide that space for you, operate in that space. But if you don't feel safe about it, and it might not be me, baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
You gotta look
just
at
think
the
about it.
Yeah,
guy.
I also believe in that aspect. I do also believe you can make an area to not be safe. I think you can do the opposite, but then that's still not making someone do anything.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You can be in the area, and that's when at that time you need to choose if you can't be innately yourself at that time.
Yeah,
That's when you need to choose to get out of that area.
facts.
That person is not making you do anything. If
Yeah.
you're doing that, that means you're sitting in a place you don't want to be in for some reason you shouldn't. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That's
So
good. That's
yeah,
a good
you
point.
can make an area of a safe space and allow a woman to be feminine. Those are those contributing factors that we talked about. You can
Yep.
also do the other. Like a
Yep.
female can do that to a guy. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? She can try to snatch his masculinity from making that area around him, making him not feel himself. You know what I'm saying? And that is his job to retain himself or change the atmosphere. That's his job to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's like exactly it's a woman's job if you get in that area. You can't blame everything on somebody else, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been in a, I think I've been in a situation like you just talked about, Jay, where a woman tried to make the environment uncomfortable for me because she was upset with, the way we were going and the way we were moving. And it took me until I got out of it to really realize that's what happened. That's a
Hmm.
bad place. That's a bad place to be in. And when you in that place, I think as a man, you got to make a decision. This is about to make me become more of who I am, become
Yeah.
more into the man I'm supposed to be. You
Yeah.
know, but like you said, that's still taking responsibility for yourself. You know,
Hmm.
and anybody that would put somebody in that space because of what they're lacking or what somebody I guess is making them feel that they're lacking. You know, let's grow up. Like Jay said, stop bullshit. Like let's grow up. like
He been on
like
that
Jay
thing
just
for
said.
ever since the first episode. He has been on
Stop
that.
it.
Hey, shout out to
Like
JB, my
let's stop
brother.
Hey,
bullshit.
I'm all for ignorance. Everybody was ignorant every now and then in their life, but willful
Mm-mm,
ignorance, I ain't
mm-mm,
about that.
mm-mm.
Man, shout out to my brothers, man. Great discussion, great discussion, great discussion. Real quick, and Miss Smiley just triggered this for me. We do have a Q&A portion at the end of the show. If y'all were with us on season one, we kind of just let y'all know towards the end. But right now, for this season, what we do is if you have a Q&A portion, I mean a Q&A question for the end of the show, go ahead and put it in comments at any point of the show. Make sure you put Q&A in the comments so we can know to address it later on when the show ends, and we'll holler at you, man. It could be about today's show. It could be about whatever you want to talk about. But the Q&A portion, if you have a question, please go ahead and put it in the comments during the show. Put Q&A in the comment, and we will address it at the end, man. Great one, fellas. We're about to move on to topic two, man. This is woo.
Hmm.
Hey, y'all know we have our production meetings, and I always let the squad know what the content is going to be for the week. And when I put this one up, Tay is like, boy, y'all know when your boy says boy, or like he says something along that line. When your boys tell you that, that mean we might have something cooking. But this one is a really good topic. It's kind of fun because it's really all opinionated because it varies. So fellas, do women base the idea of power couples strictly off celebrities and social media? Y'all see what I'm talking about? The idea of power couples strictly off celebrities and social media.
I ain't going first.
Okay.
Oop. Yep.
All right. So we're gonna take. Let's go.
You
K
go
through 12
first.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a stab at it
You
first.
go first. You got next.
I don't know how to point you.
I'm gonna take a stab at it, and somebody else can twist it. But
all right, cool.
No.
Hey,
all right.
Okay, I like that.
So,
I like that. I like that. I like
all right.
that.
So
All right,
we're gonna
all right.
take it K through 12 with this question, right?
Yeah.
So,
but when we graduate,
when we graduate,
everybody else for themselves.
we're gonna walk clean out, right? We're gonna walk clean out.
Clean out this mother. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yep.
All right.
Mhm.
So, but what is a power couple? Matter of fact, somebody tell me watching what you think is a power couple.
Oh, I would love to know that in the
To
chat.
our viewers, I would like to know the definition too, because I would like to know.
Yeah,
I
that's
would like to
interesting.
know.
What is a power couple? If I was to assume what a power couple is somebody that's highly established in society is in relation or married to somebody else that's highly established in society. That's what I think it is. And that usually involves finances and all that type of. You know what I'm saying?
That's where that's the power. That's the power part.
Yeah. So the root of it all is money to me.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, if that's the case, if if do women base the power couple idea strictly on celebrities and social media? I don't think just women do. I think everybody do. Because the power couple definition came from social media. We didn't develop that. Wasn't nothing I read in no book in grade school.
Facts.
They developed that. You know what I'm saying? And they developed that based on the fact that celebrities that was doing great in the time frame was also with somebody else that did great in that time frame. The one I can recall so great was Jay-Z and Beyonce. When that happened, it was like everybody wanted to build an empire all of a sudden based on them. You know what I'm saying? Because they was both madly established, you know what I'm saying, in their talent and in their career. And they both got together. So everybody wanted this notion, like, I want to be like that. You know what I'm saying? I haven't heard, I got to be honest, though. Since we talking about this question, I'm just taking it K through 12, man. I'm just looking at the words, right? Do women base that? I haven't heard a lot of men say that, though. I haven't heard a lot of men have a question about or talk about the topic of power couples or relate Jay-Z and Beyonce to something they wanted to obtain. I don't really hear that from men. I do hear that a lot from women, though. Mm-hmm. So, like, do women base the power couple idea strictly on certain type of women? Yeah, but that came from social media itself. You know what I'm saying? That came from because everything nowadays in social media is not being social. It's just media. It's just and people want to and people got used to obtain like posting stuff that other people want to obtain.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or posting your success rather than just being social on social media. People want to post their success, or they want to post their greatest part or their pinnacle moment on social media now, and that's just become a thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you know what I'm saying, out on vacation in Bahamas, you just post that. You know what I'm saying? And for the fact that I can't be there, my 9 to 5 ass, I'm looking at that like I want to be that. So that's what it is. And so now you see, if you relating that to this power couple idea, all in media, they was just behind this whole Jay-Z Beyonce thing. And so now, you know what I'm saying, you see them together. It's like, I want to obtain that. You know what I'm saying? But the power couple thing, it's advertently just ridiculous to me. You know what I'm saying? I think, you know what I'm saying, a power couple isn't tangible. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? If I was to relate a power couple, it's the connection and the structure they have as a couple. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't relate it to the way they do it in social media. So I mean, what is a power couple? And then, you know what I'm saying, like do women base it? I think everybody base it on that because it came from social media. That's just my thing.
No. Everybody don't. Like you said before, it's women. Women do this shit. Let's not play this game. Let's not act like it did not come from them. Oh, it came from them.
All right.
Why do you think feminism even exists? You think men created feminism?
I got you.
Exactly. How about this? Yeah, bam! Two people who are married to each other. First of all, you got to be married or in a relationship with each other, and both have extremely successful careers, especially in politics or entertainment. Are you in politics or entertainment, Jay?
No.
Rob, are you in politics or entertainment?
I am not.
So what are we talking about power couple for? It's a stupid ideology, and I'm done with it. I'm over it. It's stupid. There is no power in your couple if you don't have love.
Yeah, it's intangible. Yeah.
Even if you make certain moves, and you're talking like what Queen's conversation just said. It's the moves that couple make. The only moves you're talking about is financial moves.
That's all that's about.
Ain't about no love.
It ain't about nothing else.
It ain't about no progression of family.
Right.
It's about all the superficial things that Disney said that you're supposed to have. Mm-hmm. And you want me to be your knight in shining armor. Guess what? I ain't got no knight in shining armor. Mm-hmm. I'm a regular nigga with a regular career that do regular shit. I'm not doing this power couple ideology with you.
Yeah, I think what triggered me to bring this to our meetings and see what y'all thought about it on the show was because I've seen other shows and they brought women on and there's been discussion on that and some women have mentioned that, but it's relatively just normal women. They might have other podcasts and doing other things, but like you said, Tay, it's like it's mostly the political entertainment industry. But it's regular women that's talking about that type of stuff. Like, let's become a power couple.
Because the average woman wants the supernatural thing.
You want us to be a power couple, like you want us to be a power couple like Jay-Z and Beyonce, because that's where like y'all said, that's where I heard it come from. But you're a normal woman that's doing normal things. You might be elevated in a certain aspect. So yeah, we could build up together. We could make moves. But like power couple, like what are you comparing it to? And it was normal women kept throwing that around, normal women who do normal things. They could be leveling up, which is awesome. Yep. But it's really normal women doing normal things, talking about let's become a power couple. I want me and my man to become a power couple. I mean,
and why?
At what level and why?
Exactly. So exactly, like I'm piggybacking off you, Rollo. So exactly. It's like if you care about what your man care about, and if he don't care about being a power couple, then why do you care about it?
Yeah.
You only care about it because the hat is off. You only care about it because that's feeding into your ego. It's feeding into your status, your lifestyle, and what you want.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with the fact that you want to be a helpmate to the man that you see as a potential husband, longevity partner, whatever you want to call it nowadays. You're not doing it for that. You're doing it strictly for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm 40 years old. If I become a multi-millionaire, a deca-millionaire, if I become a deca-millionaire, you best believe the next chick I talk to gonna sign a prenup. Ooh, it's about to get real quiet in the chat. The chat gonna be like, this boy crazy. Why not? You went with me shooting in the gym?
Nope.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I take that same concept and bring it over to the power couple, you ain't even got no power if I'm the deca-millionaire and you not. If I'm the one that building myself to be where I'm at, you wouldn't even rock with me. You only gonna rock with me because you know you benefit from it. Jay said it last week. The reason why the girl is a friend to the ex is because she benefit from it. If there's no benefit, there's no reason for the interaction. So what do you benefit? And if you have values, then you will benefit things that are not superficial or tangible. You will benefit things that last longer than life, that can carry you over into the times that get bad, when you get weak, when you feel down. When you get to that place, that's when you need to know who you really got in your life. I don't need you to parade around me when I'm up. I need you to parade around me even when I'm down. And the power couple thing is strictly superficial thinking. It's so shallow, man. And it's egregious to society, to our own psyche as a human. It's egregious. Like, what power do you need? And then you want to say couple. Who? What? Who? First of all, men are the ones who create status and create their own value. Women don't. They're just born with it because of their beauty, the way they carry themselves, their femininity. That's what makes you valuable. All the things that you can't buy on the shelf at Kroger, at Walmart, at Neiman Marcus, you can't buy those things. Those are things that you have to have innately. And if you don't have them, then you're not going to be as valuable to the man that you might want. And even vice versa. If the man don't have the thing that he needs to create his value, that woman ain't going to look at him at all. She's not even going to think twice about talking to that boy. She not.
Yeah.
She's going to look right past him and just do whatever she was doing. She's not going to look at him.
I agree. I was just thinking that because, like, I think the power couple, it starts with what the man has. Like, it starts with what the man is doing first, I believe. Like, we got to set that tone, and then, the woman can come and contribute to that. Unless we're leveling up together. You know what I mean? But as far as it's starting, you know what I mean? Like the man probably is at a certain level, and another woman is at a level that's probably there but not there. Then together y'all level up. It's gonna start with us.
And that's the masculinity that Jay talked about that's lacking. When he mentioned the lack of masculinity and how that contributes to the femininity or whatever, like he mentioned that. That's a very key point.
But like he said too, we're not the ones that's saying it either.
Exactly.
So
we're not saying nothing.
To us is just
we just operating.
Doing what we gotta do.
We just doing what we do.
Us doing what we do. We're not trying to become.
They the ones that's trying to recreate and reinvent themselves. We're not doing that. We rocking with what we rock with as men.
That's what we do.
You know what I mean? So that's to me, it's like, yo, it is what it is. Like, we're not trying to become more than what we are. We know exactly who we are, and we operate right there.
Yeah.
And it's always a woman that come into your life, be like, you know what? I can make your life better. I can make you a business partner. I can give you more business. And she don't even have no business. Jesus Christ.
It's crazy. It's
It's
crazy.
crazy, man. It's like why we can't just be okay with each other? Like why we gotta have this competition of the power couple? Like it's egregious, man. It's crazy.
Whenever I hear it, it annoys me because I know who they're talking
I feel
about,
you,
and I
bro. I
know,
feel you.
and I know who they're talking about, and I know what
Yep.
level they're talking about. And
Yep.
most of us, regular functioning people living life, grinding it out, living our life,
Yeah.
trying to make our life as best as we could. We're not going to get there. So
Yeah.
it's like women who are in the same plane and the same level as most people just focus on getting better where you at. And then, gradually you're gonna progress. You may
Yep.
not be a you may not become this power couple with somebody else. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But that don't mean the way you're moving ain't great. That don't mean the way you're moving ain't awesome.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then there's levels to leveling up. You can get to that Beyonce Jay-Z level. You can get to, what I'm saying, the level that you weren't at last year. Let's try that first.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try to let's try to elevate from where we were last year, a couple months ago,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. You know what I mean? Let's take this elevation. Let's take this elevation a little more. What's the word I'm looking for? Let's take it step by step. Let's take it a little more gradual. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? No, so that's why that word that's why that word annoys me because most women out here say it are women who they're just aspiring to it because of what they see. So I do
Mm-hmm.
just to answer the question to sum it up. Yes, they base it strictly off celebrities and social media. I never heard a woman say, "Oh, you see my friend and her husband? They a power couple because they finally got married and they run this business. They got this, they got
Mm.
they got this little restaurant and they running this business. That's awesome."
Man,
But
that's interesting,
but
ain't it?
but
Yeah.
that's
Wow,
power.
that's
That's power. That's a power couple to you. To me, that's just something like life to me. Like I
there
don't.
you
I,
exactly. Man, that's what's up.
it sounds
Like
like
it's
life to
like
me.
marriage is not like being a man that take care of their kids. This is how bad society is. A man that take care of his child or just take care of his family, period, is a flex.
Yeah,
Like that was normal
yeah,
years
normal.
ago. Now it's a
Mhm.
flex. I take care of my kids.
Mm-mm. No flex on that shit.
It's like that's what you're supposed to do.
Supposed to.
It's
Mhm.
like damn. It's like that's how far we have gotten as a society as a whole. That's how low we have gotten to the standard of just being regular people, man. Like celebrities do not define the majority of people that live every day, wake up every day, and go to work.
Right.
I don't live
Right.
my life based off of like Will Smith and Chris Rock and Denzel Washington and all these. I don't live my life based off of that. But for some reason, when it comes to power couples, that's the
That's what
direction we
every,
go into,
that's what
and
everybody.
and they
That's the
normally
direction.
come from women because they want to feel a certain way about themselves with the men that they have.
Oh.
Mhm.
I
Oh,
think
okay.
I'd say if you could find it, I think a Queen's Conversation says something about that. If you could find it, exactly what you just said.
Oh, this right here.
What she say? It definitely came from women. A lot of women want to show. Yep. Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Shout out to Queen's
Mhm.
Conversation for that. Yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, yeah, just to sum it all up, yes, women base it strictly off that, and if you got aspirations for that, get like Tay just get your flex up because most of us commoners, we live in life day by day, and we progress in our own way. So that's what it is. Marriage is the power. I like that. I like that. I like that. Shout out to my brother, good one, man. That was a good one, fellas. Good one, good one, good one. Man, we appreciate everybody doing the live show. While y'all watching us live, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you already haven't subscribed. Y'all know what it is. So we
Mhm.
get the likes up. We happy that y'all are here with us on the live
Please get
show.
the likes up. Yep.
If you don't see us now, you'll see us later. But go ahead and hit that subscribe
Yeah.
button, hit that like, and hit the notification so y'all can know when we on. Y'all know what it is, man. Hey, shout out to my brothers, man. Great conversation. I told y'all we had today. Today is we dived in a little bit, but it's all love at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Hey, y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know what you know what it is, busy, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's get it, man. You know what it is, right? You was muted, bro. You know.
My bad.
Yeah, y'all know what it is. Pick the topic of the week, man. This is a good
Yeah,
one. This
man.
is a good one. One more time, again, like I said, we do have Q&A at the end of the show. If you want to have, if you do have a Q&A question, please go ahead and put in the comments. We just put in a little reminder message to let us know. Go ahead and put the Q&A questions in. So, fellas, the feature topic of the week: should we place value in deal breakers? Should there be value placed in deal breakers?
That's a good one, man.
Should there be value placed in deal breakers?
Rob, you're the only one that didn't go first, bro.
I'm the only one that did. I had a feeling it was coming. Uh, yeah, I was,
Just saying.
I
The
was
way
so,
Jay did that
I
was so
was, I
smooth,
was,
though, bro.
I
I
was
can't
so
lie. That was so
I was,
smooth the way he
I
did
was so
that.
comfortable. That's messed up. I was so comfortable with how the show was flowing. I was ready for one of y'all to
And
go
he just
first.
called you right on out. That's what
It
he
just called me
does.
right
He
on
does
out.
those things. He does things like that.
This dude. Oh my God. But
Go
yeah.
ahead, Don.
Yeah, they're definitely. I think. Yeah, I think there definitely should be a value placed in a deal breaker because it's exactly what it is. It could cause you to not want to continue pursuing someone or continue a relationship with someone. So yeah, there's definitely value in it. You know, I think the only problem is like overemphasizing that value and placing it somewhere else. Just what you see in one person, you're not gonna see in somebody else. You know what I mean? So definitely have value in your deal breakers, but be cautious with it. Everything is not I mean, like everybody has preferences. Everybody has certain things they like, they dislike. But I just don't like the kind of like the nitpicky stuff. You know what I mean? When you first meeting somebody, you know what I mean? You just find something wrong because like it's 'cause initially it's just something you're not into about them, so you're gonna find something that's a deal breaker for you. I don't like little stuff like that. So yeah, definitely there's definitely value. There should definitely be value in it because it could cause you to it could prevent you from getting into something that you don't want or that's going to be detrimental to you later. But just make sure your deal breaker is actually make sure it's sufficient, make sure it has some substance. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
that's a great thing you said about make sure your deal breaker have substance. Um,
Yeah,
so what is your? I'm asking you specifically.
yeah.
What is your definition of a deal breaker?
My definition of a deal breaker is anything that you see as a problem in the future between you and the person that you want to be with. Anything that's not a preference to you, anything that you see that you don't rock with, and you see it being an issue between you and that person, that's a deal breaker.
Okay, so let me ask you this: are you able to sense that before you actually commit to a person?
Not always.
Oh, so you go
Not
inside of something blinded that you agreed to?
sometimes.
Is that pop? People do that, Rob?
People do that, busy.
Oh my! Oh my God! Oh my God!
People definitely do
Wow,
that.
man, that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah. See, the thing about deal breakers is it's kind of like it's trial by fire. Sometimes you gotta get into something before you realize it's your deal
There
breaker.
you go. Thank you, bro.
It's
Hey,
it's
shout out to Rollo for just
it's
saying what he
trial by
just
fire.
said.
Yeah,
Shout,
man.
hey,
Okay.
It's
Well
that's the
said,
bad
bro.
thing about it. That's the
you
bad thing
gotta
about
you
it.
gotta be already in it for it to be a deal breaker.
Yes, sir. It's trial by
See,
fire for
people
real.
confuse boundaries with deal breakers. A boundary is a preset.
Mm-hmm.
A deal breaker happens after you have already communicated that this is the thing that would make me not be with you or not interact with you, whether it be in business, relationship, or whatever. This is the the deal breaker. The deal breaker is a byproduct of the boundary. It's a byproduct. They operate in different spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Boundaries operate individually. Deal breakers operate in relationship. So if you're in a relationship with somebody and you already communicated with them, like, you know what? Let me slow down. You know what? This is what would make me breach the agreement that I have with you. If you do this. And that thing that you bring to me has to have substance, like Rob said. If it don't have substance, then we ain't got no relationship.
Yeah.
Like, you mean to tell me that you won't even talk to me because I don't make as much money as you think I should? That's valuable to you.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
I pay my taxes. I go to work every day. I'm honorable citizen. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Why do I have to make $100,000 a year for you to acknowledge who I am as a person?
Mm.
Then that means that your deal breaker is very shallow and it's a byproduct of your boundary that you got, or I should say preference.
Mm-hmm.
Because we always mix the two. At the end of the day, it is what it is. There is nothing about a deal breaker that's related to a preset of a relationship. Nothing. You already committed to this person, and you let this person know. As long as you don't do this while I'm committed to you, as long as you don't do this, we good. But when you do this, and you do it without talking to me, now we got an issue. I remember last season we talked about the thing that we talked about preferences and things like that last season. And Jay made a very valid point. He was like, man, I don't like when a woman can't communicate to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you have an issue, communicate it to me. And you can give me a proclivity by communicating to me before I commit to you. So if you communicate to me before I commit to you, then you're letting me know that you have this particular deal breaker after the fact I commit to you. I have to know that you agree to this before we do it. Because if we don't do that, then there is no commitment from me.
Mm-hmm.
And that the thing about it is that people think they operate the same, and they don't. They operate differently. Boundaries operate in individuality. Deal breakers operate in relationship. You trusted somebody already to commit to you and to be able to oblige the very things that you need in a relationship. When that person breaches that, then you like, yo, we need to have a conversation, or we need to talk.
Mm-hmm. Because it's teeter-tottering to the threshold of we might have to break up if you don't get this together. Mm-hmm.
That's the deal breaker. What is it that would say, hey, you know what? I have to break the commitment.
Mm-hmm.
The deal breaker is not on the other person. It's on you. What is it in you that will make you break your own promise? And we try to act like we don't have this type of proclivity in us, and we do. You cannot escape from your own self. You know, ma'am and sir, that if a person don't do a certain thing that you prefer, if they don't do it consistently, you know you out. You need to say that before I commit to you. Don't say it after I commit to you and we never talked about it. Now, and then when we do talk about it, you're not even reasonable enough to have the conversation with me in good faith. Mm-hmm. That means that's not a deal breaker. That's a preference. And you try to disguise it as a deal breaker so that way you can have what you think you wanted in the first place, which wasn't me. It was my resources or whatever else it was. But don't let me hear them out committed to you and you bring up a whole new thing. You bring up something way brand new that we never talked about and you want to say, now that's a deal breaker. Really? No, that's a preference, baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
You gave me your preference after you gave me your commitment. That's the cart before the horse. Don't make sense. You're not going nowhere. And it ain't my job to make sure that you know yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to you for you to know yourself enough to say, hey, this is my deal breaker. When I'm in a relationship, this is the one thing that would say, you know, this is the one thing for me that's like, you know what? I have to leave this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It could be and that deal breaker has to have value. Like Rollo said, substance. And if it don't have substance, that's a shallow person and you just dodge a bullet, my boy.
And that's why it's important to set a foundation when you're about to get into a relationship, man. That's the
And that's
importance
a
of
good
really
point.
that's the importance of really getting to know somebody
Yeah.
and taking the time to really get to know somebody so you can
Yeah.
develop that strong foundation. You know what I mean? Because you could definitely fall into everything you were just talking about, Tay, because you don't really know this person or know what they value. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? We get in that honeymoon phase of dating and getting to know each other, but we haven't hit the surface level on certain things about who we
Mm-hmm.
are. You know what I mean? That's why like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how quick a woman is looking for a relationship or how quickly she wants to get to know me enough to decide if she want to be with me. I'm gonna take the time I need
There you
because
go.
I've been through enough things to know what my deal breakers are.
There you
You know
go.
what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, that's what it comes down to.
Yep.
Talk to us, Jay.
You know, to put value in a deal breaker, first of all, we got to know that it exists.
Hmm.
Like, I'm going back to Tay's point, and he mentioned that, but I'm just making emphasis on it that the worst the most lost part about a relationship nowadays is communication.
Yes,
And
sir.
if you're not telling me exactly what you want or what you don't want, people have a tendency to like to harper on what they want instead of what they don't want. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not communicating with me both equally, then we're not having a progressive conversation about being in a relationship or, you know what I'm saying, going to the next level. We're just not. You know what I'm saying? That's how you put value. That's the starting point to me, in my opinion. That's the starting point of putting value in a deal breaker is to mention the shit. Tell me what the deal breaker is. And I
Talk.
gotta admit though, I am guilty of doing this myself.
Ah.
I had to learn growing up that I had to tell women what my deal breaker was.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Just setting the tone, just letting you know I am not, and that deal breaker, like, I'm I'm definitely going back to what Tay said. I agree with what he said. That deal breaker is very crucial because it's letting the other person know I am not going to do this at all if this happens at all. Like there's no, there's no discussion. We're not about to talk about this. It's a deal breaker. That means I'm breaking the deal that I have with you. Period. You know what I'm saying? And so if that is the case, that has to be said. So yes, you need to put more value, and they have to be obsessive because you have to think to yourself, what is that thing that will make you totally negate a relationship or a situation of exclusivity? What will make you just stop totally? And people don't put emphasis on that because, to me, that people are still looking at their preference list when they think about deal breakers. Why are you still looking at your preference list? Your preference list is a guy with finances, a guy that's just what the guy to take care of me, a guy that whatever the case may be, whatever your preference list is. And so when this deal breaker happens, then you want to slide it up under the carpet because your preferences are in order with this person. That's why your deal breaker should be valuable. It should be more
Mm.
valued than your preference list because it's something that's not going to make you continue with this person. So that will make that's what that like what Tay said. That's what make the deal breaker shallow. That's what make you shallow, and that's how you're gonna end up a relationship like that because you're making it something that is not supposed to be because you didn't put any value in your deal breaker. You need to put value in it. You need to set the tone. You always want to set the tone about what you want, what you don't want. What's
Yeah.
the thing that's gonna make a guy for women? What is that thing that make you guy be like, I'm straight, like I'm good? You know what I'm saying? And that's cool to let them know that as a boundary up front. But what is that deal breaker in a relationship? What is that? You know what I'm saying? You can set the tone with preferences and all that, like what I like, and even what you don't like. But what is that ultimate hell no? You're not saying that to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And once you say that, you got to do it. Stop looking at your preferences. Stop draining the well for benefits and adhere to your deal breakers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just set it. It'll make you more of a valuable person to others if you set the tone of what you want.
Hey Jay, I got a question for you.
And that's just what it is.
Preferences and deal breakers are not the same, ladies.
Yeah,
not the same.
I got a question for you, Jay. Do you think that happens? What you're talking about? Do you think that happens because both parties don't really know what they want in the first place in a relationship?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Right. That is.
I'm just asking. Like,
they bullshit.
Yeah, they bullshit. Exactly. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, listen. I asked you that because before you have a deal breaker, you gotta have a deal maker.
Yeah.
Before you have a deal breaker, you gotta have a deal maker. What made you commit in the first place?
Right.
And what is it that will say, hey, I gotta be out. If this right here happens all the time, I gotta be out. Whatever you state that is, if you don't put some value on that, who gonna rock with you? You gotta always make $100,000 a year, bro. Otherwise, I'm gonna break up with you. That's shallow as hell.
So watch this.
Yeah.
I gotta have a job, a car, and money are not deal makers.
There you go. Come on. Okay.
They are not deal makers.
We're the building.
They are preferences. They are not deal makers. A deal maker should be more intangible than you ever thought. A deal maker should be more intangible.
Jay, why you make him mute and go off camera?
I don't know, man. I'm just talking. I'm just saying what.
Go ahead, bro.
I guess I'm saying what he can't say. I don't know. But a deal breaker should be intangible. You know what I'm saying? A deal maker for me is a girl that adhere to my conversations and listen to what I said. That's a deal maker for me. If I have someone I can have a conversation with and they pay attention to what I say and they take it in without, you know what I'm saying, utterly into debate or utterly into you know what I'm saying, in the conflict, if you just take in who I am, that's a deal maker for me. That's something to be like, I'm looking at you in another way. You know what I'm saying? If you support me in the facet without alternating my viewpoint of what I want to do in life, that's a deal maker to me. You understand? You know what I'm saying? So that's how you easily put the value in your deal breakers. If you had great value makers, if you have great deal makers, you have to have great deal breakers. Like they work in cohesion. They work parallel. But people get that confused with preferences. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay, well, as long as he got this, and that, I'm good. So there are a slew of niggas that got that. They could be a-holes. They could be jealous. In fact, just dudes is territorial. They could be all of that. But they got a job, a car, and some money. So that's your deal makers? That's shallow. Upgrade your deal breakers, dog. Upgrade your, you know what I'm saying? Just upgrade the deal makers and the deal breakers. Tay brought up the deal makers. And we're saying put value in deal breakers. We got to put value in deal makers too. Like that's just what it is, dog.
I think people be I think people be a lot less upset when something happens in their relationships that they don't like. They'll be a lot less upset because
Thanks.
they probably didn't even know that's what their deal breaker was.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They're like, well, let me not say that. They'll be less upset because they know what it is. I meant to say that. They'll be less
Mm-hmm.
upset because they know what it is and then they probably expressed it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? The only time they might not know what it is because they've been thinking it and then it actually happens, or they see certain things that they put in the back of their mind, but they don't really know for sure if they could deal with it or not, and then it happens and then you ready to blow up. Nah,
I give you that.
we can't do that
Or
either.
they didn't put the work in themselves.
Either way, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? They didn't work on themselves. Like you
either
didn't took
way.
enough time for you to figure out what makes or breaks you from somebody else. You ain't sat and thought about it. That's usually the problem, bro. Because
Yeah.
these men and women ain't sat and thought about it. Like, you know what? I came out of this last relationship. Whatever happened, it doesn't even matter. First of all, they ain't taking accountability for that at all.
Mhm.
So they already starting off stupid. And then on top of that, they're not looking forward to the fact of what they actually want out of the next one. They're not sitting
Yeah,
there thinking about it. They just trying to substitute or rebound from the last one.
yeah.
And if
Mm.
you copy and paste, and that's all you getting.
So do you think so Jay and Rob, do you think that's a validation tactic when they do that? Would you
It could.
would you consider that to be a validation tactic when they do
What do
that?
you mean?
When they rebound from the thing that they know they wasn't qualified for in the first
No,
place?
that ain't no goddamn validation. That's just emotional movement. Like
All
that ain't no
right.
validation. They just not thinking. I'm sorry,
But
my bad. I
No,
no, you
no,
good.
no. Go ahead, bro.
You ain't gotta
No, you
apologize
great.
for what you say, man.
You
You a
are
grown
great.
man, cuz.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like,
Say it
no,
with your chest.
that ain't
Actually,
no that ain't no
Mm-hmm.
validation, man. That ain't no validation.
look, man. There's a certain there's a there is a level of irresponsibility that a lot of people take or don't even know they're taking when it comes to choosing someone that fits you.
Yeah.
See, choosing someone that fits you
Yeah.
opposed to choosing someone that you that you like is different. It's totally different. You can somebody can fit you and you may not necessarily like them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It it happens in business all the time. You can have somebody in business, you don't like them personally, but when it comes to business, you can rock with them
Yeah.
because that's where you dwell. A lot of people don't know where they dwell at, and that's what back to Jay point. That's the reason why they committed to the person in the first place. They don't even know where they dwell.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good
They don't
point.
even know how they rock.
Mm-hmm.
But now you want somebody brand new in your life
Mm-hmm.
that you want to put the responsibility on them to
Mm-hmm.
understand how you rock when you've been cutting yourself in the arm for 15 years. You know, been doing this shit. Yes. Just shooting yourself with heroin. Just
For
oh,
15 years.
for 15 years, and you want me to help you to get clean. Are you outside of your mind? Listen, I don't have the time. I don't have
Mm-hmm.
the time. I'm too
Mm-hmm.
old. I'm too old for this.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? Let me tell you something, fellas. Women, they ain't gonna give you the patience either.
Nah.
Mm-hmm.
You think a woman gonna wait for you to get yourself together for 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
If she do, then she's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
She ain't receiving nothing out the deal.
Mm-hmm.
She just want to be there for you. That's insanity. I can
Mm-hmm.
see if you with somebody that you actually have a relationship with that means something to you. That's different.
Mm-hmm.
But just waiting on somebody to get themselves together, that's
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want me to wait for you to get yourself together? You better fix that now because I'm not waiting on you.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I wait on you for? For what?
Mm-hmm.
Why would I do that?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why would I invest in something that has no return to it?
You're mentioning this comment here. It's in
What's that?
relation to that deal maker is someone I could be vulnerable with. You have to have the ability to be too vulnerable. You have to have the ability to be that.
You gotta allow it.
You gotta allow it. Like, that's
you
what
gotta
you're
let it
talking
happen.
about. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You
Yeah,
gotta let it happen.
you can't come
if you're
in.
that go
You can't
actually
come in
goes
with your
back to
armor
the
on. Yeah.
right. That goes back to the last episode.
Yes, sir.
That's
It
what it
does.
actually does. And it
You
goes
can't
back to the
come
last.
in with your
So
armor. You
if
can't come in with your armor on, ready to box.
right,
And like I'm not gonna be able to dive into you.
if you make that difficult,
Yes. Yes.
you know what I'm
Yes,
saying? See
Jay.
what I'm saying? That's fine. If your deal maker is somebody you can be
Yes,
vulnerable
Jay.
with, that's what's up. But our last episode talked about
Hey, Tate,
complexity
pull.
versus difficulty. If that is difficult to make you a vulnerable person, if that's difficult, then that's on you. That is not on me.
If you
You know what I'm
if you
saying?
want to be vulnerable with me, but every time it's time for you to be vulnerable and you
Uh-huh.
make it difficult, I
Uh-huh.
don't even want your vulnerability no more.
Right.
It's too difficult for me to deal with. If you're not ready and willing to
Right.
give it to me, then don't say nothing.
Yeah.
Just walk off, cuz.
Say
Walk.
right. I agree that and that goes back to the masculine feminine thing. I agree that a lot of women are being masculine because of that vulnerability they can't be. I agree with that. But and just like what you're saying though, you can't make that difficult enough. I can't remedy all your facets of your past relationships to make you vulnerable. I can't do that. I am not that much of a guy. I can't
I
do
can
that. You have
fix you
yeah.
so you can be vulnerable with
For
me
me, right.
when it had nothing to do with me in the first place.
Right. That's right.
So what Queen's conversation just mentioned, she's talking about feeling safe.
Okay.
But if I make you feel safe, but you give me difficulty, then I removed my safety.
Yeah.
So you can handle that shit on your own.
Your own. Right.
Because I'm not doing this with you. Because you know what? There is not one woman outside of my mama that made me feel safe when I was vulnerable with them. They ain't gonna try to make you feel safe. Nigga,
Right.
stop thinking it. All the fellas that's out here that may be under the sound of my voice, I want you to understand something right now. There is not one woman on earth who give a damn about your vulnerability.
Yeah.
They only say that to look good for themselves. If you be vulnerable with a woman, she is not gonna handle it the way you would handle her vulnerability.
She gonna sit there. She gonna sit there looking so uncomfortable, but
She gonna be looking
shaking her head like
he's so weak. I need a leader. I need a boss nigga. I need a, you know what I'm saying? I need a man's man. It's always a stipulation.
It's crazy.
It don't matter who. It doesn't. Listen, they can tell you whatever they want. I don't care. You will not get the exact same reciprocation. If you're vulnerable, you're not going to get the same vulnerability from them. If you do, that is a blessing from God.
Yeah.
And you got to give God the glory for that woman. Because you think women in 2023, you think they care about why you cried last night all night?
Not at all.
Not even at all. If you have a conversation with a woman and you give her just a small percentage of your vulnerability, she's not calling you to check on you to see how you doing unless she really care about you. If she don't care about you, she is not going to hit you back up. You know why? Because she got another nigga that she can fuck with, that she knows that she can get that bread from, she can get that dick from, she can get that shit from. She ain't thinking about you, Reggie. Reginald? She's not thinking about Reginald.
Why he gotta be there? I wonder if Reggie was watching. He'd be like, "Hey, that's some shit.
Hey, that's some shit."
Talk about me.
And then the nigga talking about me.
Nigga, I told you that
Hey, hold on. We got a comment. Hold on one second. We got a comment. Hold on one second.
I told you that in confidence.
Being vulnerable is a choice. Are you providing that space for someone to be vulnerable? Let me tell you something. When you're in danger, nobody provides the space. You need help.
Yeah,
Vulnerability comes when you're weak, when you
you
have
got
no one to be around you to keep you in safety. I don't have to provide a space for you. Vulnerability comes from a place where you created that. You're in that space already. You know that, okay, in order for me to be vulnerable, I have to be in a situation that shows my weakness. Most of the time, in weakness, attached to that is danger. It's some type of pivot. It's a pivot. It's like, in order for me to be and operate in vulnerability, I have to have something that causes that. There has to be something that exposes that vulnerability for me to even share it. Otherwise, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. If you was good, listen, man. If you did not want somebody to be vulnerable with you, you ain't gonna let them. But when were you vulnerable? You weren't vulnerable. You wasn't vulnerable when you met me. You was vulnerable a long time ago, and you didn't even let that person be vulnerable. Yeah, vulnerability is a choice on your end, not mine. So just like Jay said, if I provide the space for you to be vulnerable and you don't take it, you just don't take it. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Mm-hmm. If I had a woman, I got a penthouse suite in the hotel downtown in the great any city you want to think of, and I let this woman come into the penthouse, and she ain't got to worry about nothing. She ain't got to worry about food, drink, nothing. Everything is provided for her, and then she's still asking for more shit. Mm-hmm. Everything you need is here. What else do you need? Mm-hmm. That's not vulnerability. That's greed. I got to create space for you to be vulnerable. I got to also fulfill your vulnerability. I got to also understand your vulnerability. I got to also fix it and resolve it for you to be comfortable enough to sit in my presence. I don't have the time to work that hard for you.
yeah. I don't think I ever really understand when people say it's something being provided that's supposed to be provided from self. You know what I mean? Like when people say like let's take self-esteem for example. I'm gonna go off here, but I'm gonna come back. Let's take self-esteem for example. Like I really believe when somebody say they messed my self-esteem up, that's so invalid. That's so invalid.
right.
It's so invalid. Like
I agree
I
with
don't
that.
I
I
agree,
don't
bro.
I never really understand when people say they're not providing this space for me to be this way. Like you're either gonna do that, you're either gonna be that way or you're not. Because it's and if you're not gonna be that way in a certain environment, okay, don't blame the space. You're deciding not to be that way
Yes, sir.
in a certain environment. It's not what's being provided, like because it's all on you. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody's going to put themselves in a position to where they can't feel how you should try not to put yourself in a position to where you can't feel how you want to feel, because that's a choice also. It's all a choice. It's all where you're placing yourself and how you decide to be and wherever you place yourself. So I don't nothing I can't ask a woman to provide a space for me not to overthink. If I'm an overthinker, I'm going to overthink.
I'm
It
gonna
has nothing.
operate in the very thing that I
Yeah.
am.
If I'm if I'm
Like,
if I'm if I'm a
why wouldn't I?
if I'm a person that's just constantly planning and trying to get stuff settled and my mind don't rest, I'm not gonna look to someone to put my mind at rest. I gotta understand where I'm at and decide to put my mind at rest.
I
Let's go,
think
Jay.
people are missing the idea.
Let's go, Jay. Let's go, Jay. Let's go, Jay.
I
I'm about to
think
go on
I
mute.
think I
I'm
think
about to go
people.
on mute because he about to cook.
No, I'm just gonna reiterate what was said. I think I'm looking at the comments. I think people are missing the idea. You know, there are a lot of prerequisites to being to to that safe area of being vulnerable. I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. Like I coming from the relationship history I've been in, like anybody that knows me, I got hella boundaries. You know what I'm saying? And I am not that person to be vulnerable so quickly. It has to be set up in a particular way. So looking at, Queen's Conversations comments, like that makes sense. Yeah, you have to feel a certain way. I get that to be that. But yet, all we're saying is when that all adds up, there is a finalization of the ultimate choice for you to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
You have to accept the fact that that is your choice at the end of the day. Everything can be flourished for you, and you can still choose not to be vulnerable. That is all on you. That's all that Tay is saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I actually have to agree with it. Yes, we can set the standard. Yes, we can go ahead and put you in a safe space to be vulnerable. Yeah, we can go ahead and walk this straight line as long as you want us to walk. But until you turn the light on and be like, okay, I decide to be vulnerable with this person, it will never happen because it's your choice.
Check this out.
All there was said.
Check this out. Watch
That's
this.
it.
Since you said this, watch this. Look at this comment. Being vulnerable is a choice. Are you providing the space for someone to be vulnerable?
Mm-hmm.
Then she has to feel you care. That both men. What you mean? Either you gonna give me you or not.
Yeah.
I'm not about to fight for you with you about you.
Right.
I'm not doing it. I'm not cut that way. I'm not doing it. I don't give a damn.
if you teeter tottering on that, we can go ahead and just talk about that and let that be.
Right.
We don't have to, you know what I mean? We don't have to go and be like, I need more for me to be born. I'm not. Exactly. That's what Tay is saying. I'm not doing that shit.
Right. If vulnerability is a choice, by that logic, if vulnerability is a choice, then why would you expect me to create more space for you? If you have the power to choose it for yourself, doesn't matter about space. It matters about how you operate within you. I don't have to create. No one has to create space for me to be me.
Right.
I will be me everywhere I go. And y'all know I'm crazy. Y'all know I don't give a damn. Rollo?
Right.
Yeah, we're diving a little bit deeper into just the question itself. Like,
exactly.
We're diving deep. We're holding people accountable for how they feel and how they think and how they choose to be in whatever situation they're in. Because I'm gonna always say like that's if you're in a place where you can't feel you can be yourself or be vulnerable or be open, then that's ultimately on you too. If you're around people who are not, I guess, that you feel are going to provide that space, that's on you. But you ultimately can't let that not make you do or feel or say or act how you want to act or how you want to be or how you want to live or how you want to move throughout this life. You know what I mean? It's like and like Jay said, if the environment is there. If the environment is there and you're still choosing not to act accordingly or be who you are, act how you want to act, that's ultimately on you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like rather you have a bad experience from opening up and being vulnerable, rather you have a bad experience for expressing how you feel around people who you feel not gonna understand it. So what? That's where you are. Don't let nobody can provide a space for you to be who you are. It can't.
Don't give me that responsibility either. That's all. That's just like don't give me that responsibility of your vulnerability having complexity. Don't give me that. That's not my fault. That's what Tay said. That's not my fault. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not Rob, it's not our fault if they have vulnerability issues.
Yeah, it's not our fault.
If they want the stage set so perfect for them to be like, okay, I can finally be vulnerable, and you're going over obstacle after obstacle to try to make that happen because you're actually into this person. Yeah. If you're doing that over, that becomes the liability on you, and that all we're saying is we're not doing that shit. That's all. You know what
I'm
I
not,
mean?
and that could be, that could be a deal breaker when you feel like somebody isn't providing that space, and you still display your vulnerability or your overthinking or your
Yeah.
emotions or your anything that you want to express or be. If you still feel like somebody's not providing that, but you show that, and then they show
Right.
and then they show you that you can't do it, that's your deal breaker. Get the hell out of here.
Right. And that's that's the
That
reason
makes
why we're
sense.
talking about this question right now. And it makes total sense. Your deal breaker, just like Rollo said in the very beginning, it gotta have some substance. If you don't have no substance in your deal breaker, then you will find yourself committed to something that is against whatever boundary you set before you met that person.
Yeah.
And at that point, if you don't do something about that deal breaker, it becomes an issue to the person who's really trying to be with you the right way.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It's like you don't understand. Like,
Yeah.
yo, the fact that you got deal breakers or whatever the case may be is cool, but they come after you commit. Now, once you commit, once you agree to the relationship level that you own with this person, what is it that will say, you know what? I cannot rock with this person if this happens. What is that? You got to say it specifically. Stop trying to figure out if somebody else can figure out what's wrong with you. Tell them what's wrong with you.
Hey, Tay,
so they know it.
Tay, I think that produces the person that be like, "Oh, my last relationship was so horrible."
Yeah, that's facts.
That's how that gets produced. That if anybody been in a situation, man or woman,
you talking about that first date where it's just the man's fault and not hers,
right? And it's just the man's fault, and you know,
and you just listen to that all night.
Women, you know, men do that too. You know, not as much as women, but men do that too. Like, oh, my baby mama was just, and she was just like, and she, oh my god, and she just did all that. That because you didn't set any expectations. You ain't put no value in no deal breakers. You just let it run.
You just let the episodes go all the way to marathon mode.
Right. Until you were so fed up that you had clothes and garbage bags. That is your goddamn fault.
That is your fault. Exactly, bro.
That's your fault.
You really want to take
responsibility
for that? Are you crazy?
Right.
Something's wrong with you.
Now the next person's supposed to be stacked enough for you to be vulnerable. Get out of here with that, dog. Like, come on, man.
Come on, man.
That's all we saying. And that's for men and women. Don't take that shit. That's bull.
Exactly. This is equal accountability. We not one side, nothing. At the end of the day, it's both sides. Like, y'all got to figure out what's up with y'all. Like, for real, if you need therapy, or if you need to get baptized, I don't care what you need to do.
Do that.
Get your shit together, because let me tell you something. Nobody else, no other human, especially in this society, no other human have the time to deal with your bullshit. Nobody.
That's all
I don't give a damn what you say. Nobody has time to
pontificate.
I'm pontificating. I'm thinking about this bullshit that I may have to deal with.
No, man, but
nobody got to deal with it.
To sum it up, yes, definitely. Your deal breakers, they definitely have value. Decide who you are. Decide to place yourself in a position to where you could be who you are, and determine what you can deal with and what you can't, and place yourself in and try to do the best you can to place yourself in that environment. Yes, definitely. Everything should be up front. Everything that you like, dislike, can't tolerate, don't see you and another person moving forward with, go ahead and be upfront about it. I like that comment because
be
that's
honest,
what it's
man. You're right.
And your deal breakers are extremely valid because they are yours. Don't nobody else got to understand it. Nobody else has to understand it. No one. So don't worry. Don't worry about what your deal breaker is. You know,
Yep.
it's yours. It's yours.
Yeah.
Shout out to shout out to everybody tuning into the live show right now,
Yes,
man. Shout
sir.
out to my brothers, man. We had a real good conversation
And
today, man.
that's a dope combo for
We had a
real,
really
man.
good convo, and we had some. We really, as always, we appreciate the viewer participation with all the comments, man. Shout out
Yep.
to Queen's Conversation. I think this is a first time viewer. We definitely appreciate you. Shout out to all our regular mail carriers, man. Like I told y'all, man. Without y'all, this don't work. Without y'all, there's no us. Without us,
Yep.
you know what I mean? It just don't work. So we about to tap into the Q&A portion of the show. We actually
Yes, sir.
have one. Who we got one from? Busy.
Hold on, I got you. Hold on, give me 1 second, bro.
Yeah,
Got it right here. Here we go.
there we go.
Hmm.
Okay, Miss Smiley, thank you very much. Do people string the opposite sex along until they find something better? And if so, what are the signs to look for?
Oh no, she want us to give up the sauce. We
Yeah.
ain't got no sauce.
That sound like, you know,
Oh, some sauce right there,
special
bro.
sauce.
Ain't no,
She want the
ain't no,
ingredients.
ain't no signs because they stringing you, because they stringing you along. But
You know, do people string the opposite sex along until they find something better?
but
Special sauce, cuz.
uh, are
What you
there
think, man?
sign? Are there signs when you're being strung along that if they're good at it, it's not gonna be no signs. I think the only sign, the only sign is when the only sign is when something happens that you just see that you I think you got to figure it out because people who string others along, they normally very strategic and they know what they're doing. Something has to happen and you have to be conscious of it for you to catch it. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? I don't think there's no signs because you're like they're like normally I think normally people that string people along know what they're doing, and the only way they can keep doing it if the person is agreeing to it and sticking with it and going with the flow. That's the only way you can get strung along, and they normally pretty
Mm-hmm.
strategic about it. I don't know if there's a sign. I just think that something has to happen that you catch and realize it. Tay, please go ahead, cause you like
What's
you
up with
about
that
to.
pump fake you just did, bro?
It look
I
like you
thought you
about
was
to.
about to go. I
It
ain't
look like
pump fake. I
Oh,
just thought you was. I ain't want to cut you off. My bad. I
it
mean,
look
I was
like you got
being,
a.
nah,
It look
I
like
was
you got
being
a rocket.
considerate. I thought.
It look like you got a rocket at the
mm,
bottom of that chair. You
oh,
about
nah.
to lift
No,
off,
I'm just
bro.
saying, like, I'm going down because it's, yeah. Anyway, uh, yeah, yes. To answer the question, yes, people do string people along
I would agree with that.
to find something else better. Yes, that's facts.
Mm-hmm.
And the sign to look for is once you think that they're stringing you along,
That's pretty much it.
that's pretty much your answer. You ain't gotta look no further. It ain't that deep. No, it ain't that deep. You getting played like a motherfucker, ma'am. So yes, you are.
That's pretty much it.
It's really not that deep. To be honest with you, as soon as you get a hint of that
Yeah.
chick, you might want to move on. Just
uh-huh.
you might want to just go ahead and do your thing because
Yeah.
you're not going to do their thing at all. They're not thinking about you. They don't care about you. That they have strung you along on purpose. Yes, people do that a lot, all the time. Oh, both sides, men and women, do this all the time with each other.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to make it seem like it's something it ain't. But the reason why they string you along is because they find the benefit out of you.
Yeah.
A lot of times, even with guys, like guys, what we go through is this. This is how we know. We know that anytime a woman just want to have a good date and feel good about herself, if you the dude that she called, you that guy.
Mm-hmm.
You're that date guy. You're that friend that makes her feel good about herself, and you don't get nothing in return. And we all know what nothing is. You don't get a chance to do none of this. Oh, this right here?
You
Don't even worry about these sounds. These sounds right here, you'll never hear those. Hey, hey, man.
So
If you taking her out Ocean Prime, you don't get none of this. You just a regular nigga that she fucking with just for dinner. She want to eat good. You ain't getting none of that. So I'm just saying, bro. Like
so that's not that's not
I'm just saying.
that's not a red flag. That's not a red flag. That's not a sign. That's a get the hell out of there.
That's a hurry up and rescue yourself flag is what
Like
that is.
that
Exactly, Rob.
that's a get the hell out of
Yeah,
there. Like
yeah, for sure.
once that happens, you know what I mean? It's a get the hell out of there. Like it's and
mhm.
shout out to Queen's Con. She said a Queen's
If you
conversation in the comments. She mentioned patterns. To me, once the original pattern of what we doing changes, I'm out. Like I'm done. If
right,
any
Like what Jay always say.
if anything
I have
shifts,
categorized you off rip. Like I've already
yeah.
done it. Yeah.
If anything shifts from what we were doing, you know what I mean? Like if anything is off from what we were doing. Now, I think where people I think basically that's what it is. That's what it is. When anything shifts from what we were doing and it takes a turn, rather it be I'm thinking of something or you show me something, that's it. That's no is no signs to take. Because to me, signs are something that warns you and you stick around and see if you get another one. Hell no, I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm not. I don't
mm,
need to see if it's gonna happen again. I don't need to.
yeah, people do get strung along, man. But
Mm-hmm.
they're the if they are if they are detached from you moving forward with your emotions, then they're stringing you along. There's just one like just undercurrent. You know what I'm saying? Because if you, I agree with what y'all said. If you feel it, move. I agree with that. But the statement was posed as if they didn't know. So if you didn't know, if you're being if that person is being detached from anything emotional or intangible or anything in progression of being a closer partner with you, if they're just doing it by if they're coloring by the numbers,
Right.
you know what I'm
Right.
saying? If they're just
Yeah.
dating and they're just having fun and they're just having sex with you and it's on rinse and repeat, and there's nothing, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing intangible or nothing that you can connect yourself with, like we talked about with the vulnerability and all that. If none of that's there, if no connection is there, if none of that is, then yes, that might be a sign that you might be stringing along. You might be in a position that that person is just having you at this slot for you to, you know what I'm saying, for that person to continue. Mind you, that men do compartmentalize though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Yeah.
just want to
All the
make that
time.
clear that men compartmentalize. You know what I'm saying?
How we
And
built,
that's
ladies.
usually, but compartmentalization, right, is based on a two-way street. That's because of the fact that you did something and we did something to meet at a point that it was just like, okay, this is all that is. You know what I'm saying? That goes back to again, that goes back to previous episodes. If you're showing if you put all your chips on the counter and then he just milking the cow without buying it, and you like why we ain't continuing, then that might be self inflicted.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a couple of facets to it. But I would look for if it was me, I would look for the detachment. I would look for the fact that it just looked like a paint by number situation, and we just doing stuff just to do stuff, and then we just rinse and repeat that situation without nothing else evolving or upgrading or anything like that. Yeah, it might be a scenario for you. That's just me though.
I think if there was a sign, like I said, you're the only whoever's in the situation, they're the only one who knows, can kind of feel the vibe and the connection between the person that you're interested in or dating or whatever the case is. You're the only one that can feel that. So if there would be a sign, it would be something of what Jay talked about. But that comes
Mm-hmm.
with, but that comes with understanding where you all are initially. You know what I mean? If you don't know
Yeah.
where you all are initially, you're gonna catch that regardless. You know
Yeah,
what I
you
mean?
got to know for
So
yourself too. I agree with
and
you.
and and
Yeah.
and the two people might not. In that case, y'all not stringing each other along unless y'all don't know what's going on. Y'all don't know where y'all at. That's you
Uh-huh.
can't really string nobody along if y'all know where you're at. It's and
Mm.
Jay and Tay commented on it earlier. It's really the communication factor. So uh
You
if
could just
somebody
ask.
yeah, ask too where y'all at, but
You could
make
just
sure make
ask that where y'all at. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
If you feel
if,
like
if
you
it's
being
been
strung
enough if it's
along,
been enough time if it's been
yeah,
enough time and y'all done kicked it enough and y'all done spent enough time together and nothing has been said about where y'all at, yeah, go ahead and ask. Don't that
just
you
ask.
you have a right to ask after that. You have a right to
Communication is
ask
the
after that.
lost art. Like
But
that's just what it is. Just
yeah,
say
but
something.
other than that, there's a there's nothing you can really look for unless you're already aware of your situation. You got to be fully aware of your situation
Yeah.
when you're kicking it with somebody. You just got to be aware of it. You're not gonna be able to see no signs or whatever the case is unless you're not fully aware. But even in that, once you see something shift, because that understanding could be a beast. Once you get that understanding, you set like my eyes are up. I'm ready. So once something shift off that understanding that you not feeling, go ahead and dip.
Ain't nothing
We
wrong
got
with a
we got
check-in.
another Q&A, fellas. Um, I just want to go ahead and bring this out before we leave for the day. Uh, a Queen's
Okay.
conversation said, "What do you do if sex is boring? Uh,
Damn.
you keep having sex. You keep having sex because I've never encountered a boring pussy in my life. I'm just keeping it baby. Yeah, I've never experienced. Hey man, hey man,
We
you
did
better
say you
figure
can
that
ask.
out.
You can
You
ask
better
any
figure out what
question.
Oh
you're doing.
You can ask
man.
any
Cause I
question you
ain't.
want.
Oh.
What am I wrong? What am I wrong for?
I'm
Now I'm the villain. You
done.
know? Hey man, if sex is boring, you need to do
Oh.
something else.
Oh man.
Library, aquarium, the zoo. Go to them. If sex is boring,
I'm
something is
done.
wrong with you. It ain't
You
the
want
other
to
I'm
person.
hang?
quit.
You want to like? You want to hang
I'm out.
upside down? And you,
What
I don't.
what kind of sex do
I'm
you
out of
What
want?
kind
You
here,
of
want
sex
some
you
man.
50
trying?
Shades of Grey? What kind of
Sex you trying to have before this
sex you trying to
conversation?
have if it's boring? I don't. The fact that I put my shaft in your area is enough excitement for me. I don't know what's wrong with you. You need to figure that out, ma'am and sir.
Hey man. Oh, okay. Look. Wait.
Hey, hurry up,
Hey,
man.
she the one to
We
ask the
about to
question, not me, bro.
get. She asked the question. She opened
She
the
asked the
Pandora's
question.
box.
This is Q&A. If sex is
Yeah.
boring,
If
you
sex
need
is
to keep having
boring, you got
sex.
to You don't
So,
like him. You don't like him. You don't want to be there. He's having a great time, but you
he's
don't
having
want to
an
be there.
awesome time.
You don't want to be there. You just don't want to be
You
there.
just don't. You, it's you. It ain't him. Oh, he is excited.
It is. That's individual. That's definitely individual.
Oh, he excited.
If you, yeah, if
Hey,
you
Rollo.
care, and if y'all,
Rollo.
Yeah,
Hey, my
if
boy.
you care,
my boy, my boy.
Do you get excited, my boy? I'm
Man,
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
go ahead, Jay. We about to wrap
My
it up.
bad, Jay. I'm sorry.
if you care enough for the person, you'll teach them how you want to be. You like pleasure. If you care for them on that level, I'm only talking about that. If you do not, you do your own damn thing. That's all I was saying. Get your ass up. Get out of that place. Just like Rob said, you don't like that person. You're not into it. I don't know what the hell
What?
you doing this exercise for if it doesn't appease you. What the
What?
hell are you doing? Like
I'm,
Jay,
I'm not going
if
to the
it's
gym if I'm
boring,
not going to the gym if
what
I
the
don't feel
hell?
like it.
listen. Let me say
Right,
something.
but
Go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
yeah,
interrupt. I'm sorry.
I'm just making a point though. If you and
Yeah.
I just want to I just want to attack it. I know we being funny. I'm just attacking it for real though. If you really like that person and They're not pleasing you to your expectation. And if you're in feelings with this person, like you're up there, like it gotta be exclusivity, like seriously, you would teach them how to do that. I will be willing to teach somebody how to please me if I felt for them like that. If that is not the case, which I'm feeling that it's not, but if that is not the case, then you just need to keep on doing what you're doing, man. You need to get up and find something else that you're happy with.
She messed it up. She said if sex was boring. It ain't the case. What you're talking about is very reasonable. She's saying he think his dick is big, but it ain't hit nothing. Boring. He doing his thing, and he ain't even hitting his shaft. Ain't even fucking with nothing.
Right.
That's what she talking about. Like what? Like she said, "What if it's boring?"
I want to be there.
You know, that's you.
Oh, that's individual.
That's you. That ain't got nothing to do with the other person teaching you nothing. That's you just being egregious. You just don't want to be there. You know what I'm saying?
You on a whole level, another level of the video game that ain't nobody been to yet.
Hey, Jay. Hey, Jay, she on legendary, bro.
She on legendary mode, man.
Legendary mode.
Like, for real. You got all the armor suits that you need for the last level on the first level. He said
you got all the armor suits? You an idiot, bro. Like,
you got all the weapons needed to defeat the final boss, and you in the stage 3? Like, you crazy. You wild. You wild, my boy.
Shit,
bro. I'll go ahead and take it, baby.
You got all the armor suits?
We love and appreciate y'all so much. Hey, today was a really, really good show, man. We had a really good conversation. We had some really, really good input from our viewers, man. Thank y'all so much. Hey, while y'all watching us on YouTube, man, go ahead and please subscribe to our channel, man, the MALEROOM Network. Please like, comment, subscribe to the channel every Sunday, 5:30. We appreciate y'all for being here. Thank you so much. Also, man, make sure y'all hit us up on Facebook, the MALEROOM Network. Also on Instagram at the MALEROOM View, man. If you have a comment, question, or concern, if you want to give your boys a topic to discuss on a show, please email us at themailroom313@yahoo.com, and we will respond to your topic. And we'll let you know when we're gonna put it in the show, because we definitely gonna put it in the show. Because like I said, man, y'all make us do y'all keep us moving, y'all make us do what we do. Again, like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube page, our YouTube channel, the MALEROOM Network, man. This is season 2. We have fun so far, man. We appreciate some of the new viewers between last week and this week. A Queen's Conversation. We appreciate you. We appreciate all of our regular. We appreciate our regular mail carriers. We see you. We see you by Alicia J. We see you, Miss Smiley. We see you, Sean. We see you. Who else came on today? We saw Sabrina today.
We got Sabrina. We got Sean, our new moderator. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Berica and Sean Tillman.
We saw Berica today. Thank you, Berica, for tuning in to the live show.
Yep.
And man, just like again every week, we love and appreciate y'all so much, man. Fellas, talk to me.
We out, baby.
Yes, sir. Hey, we appreciate everybody. We out. Hope everybody have a great rest of their day, and we good.
We love y'all,
see
man.
Y'all
see you next week.
Hey, see you next week.
5:30 Eastern.
Let's go. Hey, and make sure you subscribe and share this to your people.
Share, like
it, share, subscribe. We in the building, man.
Tell them about us. Hey, we love y'all. See you next week.